Can I be honest with you for a moment, Mama? Somewhere along the line in this journey of motherhood, many of us women forgot who we are. We forgot who we are as women. We forget who we are as girls, as children of God, because we became moms. And you love your kids, you love your family, of course, that's me. But deep down inside, you feel like God is creating you, or He has created you for something so much bigger. And this is one thing I find like a lot of Christian women and Christian moms are scared to even explore, that you were called for so much more than motherhood, so much more than just existing, so much more than just creating a family, because we are so multifaceted. Every single woman in the Bible, you see her as a multifaceted woman. Look at the Proverb 31 woman, right? She did so many different things. And why do we feel that in this modern day and age that we have to be this one singular person, a mom, and that is it? I want you to go back with me to that time where you were not a mom, right? You were just a girl and you were just trying to decide what is it that you were placed on this earth to do. Okay, you were in this space of uncertainty, but you had so many hopes, you had so many dreams. You see like your future was so bright ahead of you. You knew that nothing was going to be impossible for you. I knew that because that was where I was, right? And then you became a mom. And let's be honest, and when you become a mom, your identity shifts because now you are responsible for somebody else, right? It's not just you alone. Now your priorities are going to shift. It's not all about you, right? As a mom, your first thing that you think about is your kids, okay? When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you think about are your kids. They get up, my daughter gets up, first thing she does when she opens up her eyes, Mommy, can I have some milk please, right? It's all about them. Their priorities come first because they are the ones who are dependent upon us as women. And so our identity shifts, our world shifts, okay, our attention shifts, and slowly we start to see this person in the mirror that we don't recognize. Who's this person? That happened to me just recently, like when I did my hair and I was just simply going like, who is this person? I don't recognize this person who didn't take care of herself, who wasn't really into her parents. And I was like, that is not me. Okay, I needed to remember who I am. And many of us have to get into that place. It's not just about beauty, it's not just about looking good and your appearances, but it's also about how you feel on the inside. Okay, your shift. Sometimes your identity gets buried under your responsibility. That is the truth. And when you want to create a business, my friend, your identity is going to have to shift even further because now something else is going to have to take some precedent in your life as well. So as women, we have so many different roles that we operate in that could shape our identity, and it's up to us to fuse it all together to make sure it's aligned into this one big place that you can flow from freely, joyfully, and peacefully. And that place, of course, is knowing that you are a child of the Most High God. With that one identity, you can do anything in this world right now, in this world that you live in this reality. You can do anything because now you have no limits. As a child of God, you are powerful, you have authority, you have power in your words, you have power in the things that you say, and you can do all things. You were never meant to lose yourself in motherhood, my mama. You were never meant to lose yourself in motherhood. You were meant to grow from it. Let me say that again. You were never meant to lose yourself in motherhood. You are meant to grow from that space of being a mother. You then can branch out to become somebody else more and step into the calling that God has called you to. In Ephesians 2 and 10, it says, we are God's workmanship created for good works in Christ Jesus, meaning that you were created for a big purpose, for a purpose that God has already designed for you long ago. And motherhood, my friend, is just one part of it, and it's up to you to step into that other thing that God is calling you to do. Three signs that God is calling you for more, mama. First sign, you feel a restlessness in your spirit. So you're a mom and you love your motherhood, you love your home life, you love your family, everything is smooth and lovely, and you're like, oh my gosh, I should be so happy right now. But you have this restlessness in your spirit. Every time you go to bed at night, you just feel like God is calling you, that you are missing something. You need to do more. And that, my friend, you have to be grateful for, because that is God waking you up to something bigger than you could ever imagine. You're grateful for your life, my friend, but you know that there's more inside of you. You know that God is calling you for so much more. The second thing, you have ideas to help people. Every single time you see something happening, you are like, oh my gosh, that could help somebody, or I could do that to help somebody. You have so many ideas that is so valuable, but you shut it down because you're like, oh, nobody wants to hear from me. Nobody cares about that. Like, you just kind of like brush it off. But you always have brilliant ideas to help people, and that, my friend, is from God, right? Maybe you want to teach, you want to create, you want to write something, maybe you want to start a ministry, a non-profit, maybe you want to build something online. Let me tell you, all of these ways are ways in which you could help people, because everything that we do is of service to others in any way. Okay, so you wanted to write a book, you wanted to start an online business, you wanted to create something, maybe you're really good with your hands and you knit. These are all ways to help people, and you are the exact person, because God has already equipped you with everything that you need to do exactly that. The third thing, God keeps putting the same thing on your heart. Year after year, you're like, I should forget about this. But over and over, God is putting this thing on your heart. Oh, okay, maybe you should look into this. Maybe you should look into that. Don't ignore it, my friend. That is God prompting you. I hear this question all the time. How do you know if God is calling you to it? Is when you can't get rid of that. You can't shake the feeling. You can't shake the nudge. It is right there. Callings do not disappear, my friend. They whisper until you respond. That's ChatGPT, right? They whisper to you until you respond to it. That is God speaking to you, right? So we know the usual culprits for why we don't step into our true identity. Lies from the enemy. Okay, we know we have lies that comes up into our head every single day. That is not important, right? This is not the right time. You are too busy. You start to feel guilt and shame because you want more than this beautiful life that you have, which is like so a plan from the enemy. That's life from the enemy, right? You fear of failing. You're afraid of failing. What if I show up and I fail? What if I show up and people laugh at me? What if I'm judged? So what, right? So what? And you think your purpose starts when your kids grow up. You're thinking, okay, let me wait until these kids are grown and then I can do it. Let me tell you, yes, it's harder when they're small, but I'm telling you, you will live a more fulfilled life when you do it with them, because your kids are going to see you working in your purpose. They're going to see you showing up every day for what God has called you to do. They're going to see you with passion. They're going to see you with joy. And that's exactly what you want. You want to show your kids exactly what it is to look like to walk in purpose and walk in your identity. Remember, as mothers, we know very well what we say is not what they do. They do what they see us do. My kids pick up everything that I do, everything that my husband does. We will say things and they would never listen to us. But as soon as we do something, they pick it up right away. That is how kids grow, and that's how we as human beings grow as well. We learn from the doing. And so you need to step up right now and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this now. All the lies from the enemy is not what God has called me to. The truth for you right now is that God did not pause your purpose when you became a mom, right? He did not pause your purpose. It wasn't like, no. He was like, listen, I'm going to show you how to do this with your kids and do this with me, because you're going to do this with me. So let me break down to you 4 steps for you to step into your purpose. And it's not going to be easy. This is why a lot of times information is not necessarily good, because information could rattle off for you, but the implementation is the key. This is why we have coaches. This is why we have courses to help you to implement. But I'm still going to give you the practical steps, because I don't know, the grace of God can be upon you and God can help you to do what He has called you to do. All right? We're all different. I know for me personally, I will start off running, and then in between I will get stuck and I will reach out for help. Right? So for you, it might be like God's going to give you the grace and He's going to give you the favor to do what He has called you to do. Some of us, we might need to invest in coaching, in a course, in help. And by no means is that something to be ashamed of. That is you. You know, I heard this simile, or whatever you want to call it, in a coaching program I was in. And the lady says she's a pianist for the church, right? And she's like, if I just read my Bible before I go to church, do you think I'm going to be a good piano player? No, I practice my piano before I go to church and play. I have to practice. It's practical steps I have to do so that I could be a good piano player at church, not just reading my Bible. And that is so, so true. As Christians, we think, okay, we spend more time with God, which is amazing. Of course, we want to be filled up with God. But when it comes to practical things, we have to do our part. We have to put the work to the hands. We have to take action. So here's what you're going to do. As we know, the biggest thing that you're going to do when you want to step into your purpose is one, spend time with God. Let Him give you clarity. Get away from the confusion. Let Him give you confidence. Let Him give you everything that you need and download about what your purpose is. Me and God have been having some conversations lately. I'm like, God, tell me, what is it that you want? I want to hear from you. I'm asking questions until I get the answers. And I am not going to move on until I get the answers from Him. That is going to be your goal. God, what is my purpose in this time? What are you calling me to do? Show me the next step. Give me a sign. Let me know. Even if it's a prompt in my heart, give me the next step. Let me move forward. I am ready for action. I'm ready for obedience. Spend time with God. Next thing, write down what is on your heart. The Bible says it is God who has given you the desire and the power to do what pleases Him. Whatever is on your heart, my friend, is from God. And many of us mess this up. We're like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this. Oh, this is bad. No, the fact that you feel it is because it is from God. If you know you spend time with God, you know your heart is for God, you know that you pray, you know that you're obedient to God, then I'm telling you, the desire that is within you is from Him. They're always from Him. Write it down. No matter how absurd, no matter how impossible it seems to you, write it down. That is from God. And I don't want you to be obedient and disobedient, and do not put God in a box. He can do it. If He gave it to you, He will do it for you. Next thing, start small and be faithful. This is where we get messed up. We think everything has to be perfect. Oh, we have to get it all together before we start. Lies from the enemy. Little baby steps, my friend, is what is going to get you to the end result. You know, when you do a puzzle, right? The little puzzle pieces. I don't like puzzles because I get so confused with all these puzzle pieces. But puzzle starts with one little piece. Fill it in. And when you're finished, this completely beautiful picture is there. God is calling you to make small steps faithfully. Remember, we spoke about faithfulness last time, right? It's about being consistent. It's about showing up regardless. You're imperfect in every way. We are human beings. Do not let perfection stop you. Take that first step. And the fourth step for you, my friend, is to share your gifts with others. Don't keep it under a bushel. Don't hide it under the table. Put it out for everyone to see, because that is why God has given it to you. Everything that God has given to us is for us to help others with. Hear that again. Everything God gives to us is for us to help others with. The Bible says that. Love God, love others, love yourself. In those three rankings, okay? Love God, love others, love yourself. So we as human beings and as children of God, every desire that God has given to us, it may seem selfish at the time, but if you dig deep and you ask God, you will see that it is literally helping somebody else. Share your gifts with others. How are you going to do that? Social media, right? We have everything right here. Internet access, email, social media, all for free, and you could get started with. This is how God is so great. This is how you know that these things are from God. There's no restrictions for you to put your stuff out there for others. No restriction. That's why Facebook is free. That's why Instagram is free. That's why YouTube is free, because information cannot be withheld. It's what you do with it. So share those gifts, my friend, because that is what God has given them to you to do. I want to remind you that purpose doesn't always start with something big. In fact, everybody's purpose never started with something big. Never. It was always this gentle whisper from God. Take this step. Do this thing, and you not knowing exactly where this is going to lead to, and it comes into something beautiful. So take that step. God speaks to your heart. Your job is to be obedient and step out in faith. So naturally, if you're a Christian mom right now who knows that God is calling her for a bigger purpose, she doesn't know exactly what it is, but she's so distracted by everything that's going on, the guilt, the fear, the shame, everything else is coming into play. That is exactly why I do what I do. This is why I created my journal, the Discover Your Inner Power journal. I spoke about it in my last video, and that's exactly why I created my courses as well, to help you to hear from God and build a deeper relationship with Him. These are the foundation of you stepping into purpose, and many of us else our purposes will look like right now in the online space, right? Creating digital income. And it's not just about income for you, it's the impact that you're creating in the lives of other people and showing them how to do the exact same thing that you are doing. Whether it is you want to put your gifts and your skills together and create a course that you could help others with, or if you just want to learn how to be able to make money in the online space and teach other people how to do it as well without overwhelming themselves, I have something for you. So first of all, if you would like to just eliminate that space that is telling you that you are not good enough, that you are not called for more, that you are not equipped, right? You want to silence the voice from the enemy. You want to slow down. Have a space for you to just slow down. Be intentional with your thoughts, right? Hear from God. You want to renew your mind and you want to rediscover your purpose. First day, go and get the Discover Your Inner Power journal. In this journal, it will help you to process your thoughts, hear God's voice clearly and his direction, renew your mindset every single day because you've been intentional with what you're thinking and what you're putting down on that paper, and you will start to walk in the life that God has called for you. That journal is going to be perfect for you to do. And so if you feel like God is calling you into a deeper purpose in this season, I want you to comment purpose in the comment and I will send you the link to the journal. I think it's like $10 on Amazon right now. Go and get your journal. You get 3 months worth of journal prompts for you to be intentional for the next 3 months of your life so that you can start to make small steps into your bigger purpose. And of course, if this message speaks to you in any way and you would like for me to pray with you, you have something that you want to add or anything like that, please leave a comment below. I read every single one of them. Thank you so much for being here as always. And I love, love, love having you every single week. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Share it with a friend. And I will see you next week in our next video.